Let's go. An absolutely massive story coming out of College Station. Conner Weigman out for the season. It will be the Max Johnson show. And, of course, Conner Weigman, one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. And this is only year 2 of his overall college development. And, look, I was very bullish on Texas A&M before the season. I still am now because they do have one of the better backup quarterback situations, I feel, in college football. We'll talk a little bit more about Max Johnson. But the first thing here is Texas A&M's offense up to this point has been mostly good. I understand that this Auburn game was a little bit of a slog, but still, Conner Weigman has done a really good job moving the football up and down the field. And the first thing that makes this transition a lot easier for Texas A&M are their weapons, right? Bobby Petrino calling the plays has been, for the most part, I would consider good. But the truth is, Texas A&M's weapons are a big reason why this offense is able to move the way that it is. You know, they have Reuben Owens in the background here. But honestly, if you have Anaya Smith, Noah Rogers, Evan Stewart, and all those guys to throw the football to, it should be a relative smooth sailing for Max Johnson as Texas A&M moves forward. Now, do you feel that Max Johnson gives this offense the same ceiling as Conner Weigman? Probably not. But one thing I will say, whenever you take a look at this Texas A&M offense, is the pressure has been immense. Okay, so right here, this pass protection isn't really all that great, right? You get a lot of pressure here from the defensive tackle. It's not the absolute worst either. Conner Weigman does have a chance to hit this dig right here to Evan Stewart. It's a very difficult throw whenever you're, coming off your landmark there. So the good news if you're Texas A&M is your defense finally put together a really good game. Once again, though, Auburn's offense has been one of the worst offenses in college football. 5 straight games of less than 100 yards passing. So if your defense steps up under Durkin, that's obviously going to help out this transition. But I want to show you this stat right here from CFBFilmRoom.com. As you can see, Conner Weigman, one of the most pressured quarterbacks in all of college football. So if your offensive line can't protect, one thing you can do is run a lot of play action misdirection. Okay, so look at this. The play action fake bites down this flat defender. This is a massive coverage bust right here, and now you're just giving away a free touchdown. That's what misdirection can do. Any quarterback in the country is making this throw, and you're able to score a touchdown here in the most compressed part of the field, which is the red zone. Okay, boom! I'm looking at you. So, I feel like I'm in a unique position to talk about Max Johnson because, well, obviously he started his career at LSU, and on my LSU channel, I probably watch more Max Johnson than anyone. And one of the more misleading things was his touchdown to interception ratio, 27 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. He had a bunch of really good turnover luck, but I feel as if he's grown and matured that he's not going to commit those same type of turnovers. And I also think you're going to see more dimes like this, right? Just an absolute perfect ball between 2 defenders to Evan Stewart. And the one area of the field when Max Johnson actually did play, one area of the field he was afraid to attack was the deep middle. So that throw right there showed you some growth. Something else I really like about that throw is it was on first down, right? One of the best things you can do with a struggling offensive line is a lot of pass protection, a lot of play action. You see, you take a look at this protection. Look, it is absolutely perfect across the way. A lot of play action and a lot of throwing on first downs. One thing I see teams continuously do is they just run the football for 2 or 3 yards on first down. That's what the defense wants you to do. And if this ball was any further to the right, it probably is picked off. But look at where that ball is placed. I mean, my goodness gracious. So this next throw might have been Max's best, but I first want to show you the stats, okay? So you're taking a look at his career stats, and one thing you'll see throughout his career going all the way back to when he was a true freshman at LSU in 2020, he always seems to be about the same quarterback, around a 60-ish QBR type of guy, around a 60% completion percentage. So a guy who is very good, but definitely not great. He is a good runner with a good arm, but he's not great in any of those categories, right? He's just a solid, good quarterback, a lot like his father was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, okay? Now, let's actually break this play down. This is just really impressive stuff. So understanding where you are on the field, it's 3rd and 5. All you really need to do is move the chains, okay? You get very good pass protection, but my favorite thing here by Max is his progression actually went from right to left. Okay, you see that head movement right there? That just shows you that he was very calm as a backup quarterback to just go through everything, not just take off and run and find Texas A&M's best skill guy down below. Okay, now could that have been a play where they tell Max to look to the right and then work all the way back to Anais Smith to the left? Maybe that is. I don't know. It's taught that way sometimes. But the simple truth is he looked really calm. Now, is this an upgrade? The answer to that is probably not. What Max Johnson has an experience, sometimes there are times you'll see him panic like this. Okay, on this 3rd and 2, I still have never seen anyone try to do this. Just a behind-the-back, left-handed heave. And this wasn't even one of the top 10 craziest things that happened in the last year of Orgeron. And look, you'll see it right here, okay? Pressure did break down, but look at this. What a thing of beauty. So, yes, Max, he looked pretty calm there. This was obviously 2 years ago, but there are instances where he can panic. But as many Arkansas fans will tell you, Max was the one who actually got the job done last year versus the Razorbacks. Unblocked blitzer, this is actually LSU transfer versus LSU transfer. Landed Jackson right in the face of Max. And look at where the ball was placed, pretty much where only his guy could get it. And Evan Stewart is able to score. Now, let's take a look at not only this game, but the rest of the season, okay? I think Max can still get them to Atlanta. Now, obviously, Conner Weigman would give you the better opportunity to win the SEC this season. And Texas A&M, even though they do have a loss, they do have the benefit of that loss being against someone who is not in the SEC. So, obviously, if you are a Texas A&M fan right now, it is pretty sad stuff because Weigman, of course, is your QB not only for this year but the next. I do think Max has enough to get the job done for you guys. I do. It might not be pretty. You're going to need your defense to obviously step up, and it is important to understand what Max is and what he isn't. Like, he's not going to go out there and win you games in just an all-out shootout. It's just not really his style. So I do think this is about as good of a backup quarterback situation you can ask for. I would say Max is probably the second or third best backup in the SEC. So, yes, obviously still a brutal schedule ahead. You still got to play, obviously, Alabama. But I think for me, could we still see what I said before the season, where it is Texas A&M versus LSU the final week of the year on Thanksgiving weekend, those two teams deciding who wins the SEC West? We might actually get that. And that is, of course, something I think a lot of us would probably like to see. So we shall see what exactly happens. And look, who's to say that the offense doesn't look a little bit better with Max there? So, yeah, let's see what happens. That was kind of a good throw. He just didn't get his foot in bounds. Hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below. Who do you think is the better quarterback? It is Power Hour SEC. Bam! And tonight, we are doing some salmon. Let's go.